It's been a while since we've done a video, like 6 years probably, talking about this kind of stuff. And the reason why we're getting on and doing another video is because it is the day before a transfer. We are doing a transfer. And I think it's important that we share our story, because I've had a lot of people throughout the years come to me personally or through the internet and just kind of like say like how they followed our story, especially those of Polynesian descent. It's very taboo kind of in our culture talking about fertility or different things like that, or even in our church culture sometimes it can be a little bit of a taboo thing as well, where people just be like, they'll just, the combination of the two, like they'll say different things. And so I've had people come and tell me how they were grateful and it helped them seek out answers and helped them to kind of navigate through their whole situation. And I think it's important that we are vocal about it, just because it is something that is a trial for other people, and it's something that you shouldn't have to feel like you go alone or you're alone in it. And so if we can be vocal about it and open about it, we will. Mm-hmm. Right? So a couple weeks ago, I had posted a video about a miracle, and right now we're still kind of wrapping our head around all of it, I feel like, and we're still wrapping our head around this, like, it's happened so fast, right?
Yeah.
Like, really, really fast. I don't think either one of us were anticipating it happening this fast. I don't think either one of us were anticipating it to come to this, like, so soon and so quickly. But just a little bit of background, I've gone through multiple transfers myself. We do have a son. We did have success, but it was not through me. We were able to use my sweet mother-in-law as a gestational carrier, which is a really cool story, and we need to do a video. I just haven't done a video about that, but we will do a video about that at some point in time. And now our son is 4 years old. So it's like, we literally have kind of put it on the back burner for a while. I think both of us always wanted to grow our family, because we do have 6 embryos left, and we always wanted to try again, but we just didn't really know the routes. Like, what would you say
Well, I think we were just putting more focus into the child we had.
Yeah.
And kind of soaking all that in, because it did take so long and all the trials and stuff. So when we finally did get one, we just put full focus.
Oh yeah, like, the kid is so spoiled. He has the biggest birthday parties probably ever. Like, Christmas is like, I mean, he's a very spoiled child. And I agree with Chris, because I think both of us, because of how he came to us through a gestational carrier, we're kind of like, we don't know if there's going to be, like, we'd love for that opportunity, but we don't know. So we have put a ton of focus. We've traveled with him. He's been on like 7 cruises already, like, to multiple different countries. Like, we've definitely taken our time just to enjoy with him. And we're fortunate where we work from home, so we both get to be with him pretty much 24/7, like, which is awesome. And Chris has been a great dad and able to stay home and spend time with him, and same thing with me. Like, it's just, yeah, we just put a lot of time into that. But I think deep down we always knew we wanted to try to, like, grow our family. Like, and we did have 2 failed adoptions as well. One was during COVID with Tovana, a sweet little girl, and Tonga shut down for 3 years and we couldn't get out there. We were supposed to be out there for her birth, and so, by the time, it was just, the connection and bond was too strong. And I'm so happy, like, Noah is an amazing person, and we finally got to meet Tovana last year, which was really cool. And she's just super cute and super precious, and so, like, we feel she's where she's supposed to be. And our other failed adoption kind of fell in our laps, but it was like a really huge blessing. And the father had filed paternity rights like a couple weeks before the baby was born, and so the birth mother kept the baby, and then a year later she got married. So we're so happy for her and her cute little family. We kind of keep up on social media with them, and so it's not like we haven't had attempts to try to grow our family. It's just it wasn't in our cards at that time. And I think each time it's a little hard for me, at least, to just kind of be reminded that I'm a contributor to that, I guess, with my body. And so it takes a little bit of a mental toll on myself and probably Chris as well. But I've been having really bad flare-ups with my endometriosis. My doctor put me on oxycodone about 3 years ago probably.
Yeah.
I've been on pain medication for it for a while, and high doses of it, and I haven't had a surgery for it since our last transfer, right before our last transfer, which I did with Dr. Folk, who is our doctor that we love and is amazing. And he when we went on a cruise, we went on a tour throughout the South Pacific. That's both Chris's ancestry is from Tonga, a little bit of Samoa, and then I'm Samoan, and it went to both of our islands, and so we felt like we needed to go and do it, and we went and did it with Legend, which was really, really cool. Legend's our son's name. And while we were on the cruise, I had my mom call just because I was having a lot of pain on the cruise, and I was like, I need to have a surgery or something. I just need to get checked out, because my general practitioner has told me to really contemplate thinking about a hysterectomy, and I've contemplated that a couple times just because of the pain, and I've talked to Chris about it, but I also was like, now that we have Legend, I wouldn't be against trying again. And so when we were on our trip, I had my mom call, and she had called, and she had said that our doctor had retired, or was retiring in November, which was kind of heartbreaking. Well, it was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking for me, just because he's been through so much with us, and I cannot speak higher than another doctor probably than I do about Dr. Folk, just because he's a miracle worker, and he's found out so many answers for us, and he's helped us in so many ways. He's why we have Legend, a big reason why we have Legend. And so when I found that out, it was heartbreaking, because I kind of didn't know what was the next steps, and I didn't feel like our family was done. I haven't felt that for a while. I felt like our family isn't done, and so I felt that for a while. I just didn't know how, which that's been the hardest part, is how do we do this? How do we make this happen? So when we found that out on a cruise, it was pretty tough. Chris was with a good family friend of ours in Legend, who is now no longer with us, but it's so cute because Legend would always walk by and be like, that's the spot mommy cry, because they came and found me, and that's the spot mommy cry over there, on the cruise ship. He'd always know that was the spot that I was crying. But a couple weeks ago, was it a couple weeks ago? No, it was about a month or two ago. It was around general conference time. Yeah. Or do you have any input from that moment?
That's fine.
We had gone to the temple prior to general conference, and that's something we try to do. We don't always get to do it, but we try to do it just because it kind of prepares us spiritually for it. And while we were there, I hadn't felt like my family was done. I felt like there was still more, and it's kind of a very strong feeling. But my question was, okay, how Heavenly Father? Because I don't know how it's going to happen with our doctor, not, being, basically he was retired, and I didn't understand how it was going to happen. And so general conference came, same thing. Question was how, looking for inspiration, revelation. And I probably had the worst endometriosis flare-up, of my whole entire life. It was bad. I just was in pain, and it was such a good thing it was general conference, because I could just lay on the couch. But it was very painful, to the point where I was crying. And so I had called that following week to Utah Fertility Clinic or Center, because that's where our old doctor was, just to kind of find out okay, who do you guys recommend, since Dr. Folk was retired, who should I go to? And so I did ask them, and the lady was like, she had said, well, hold on. And then she got off the phone, and then she went up, put me on hold, and then she came back on, and she goes, well, Dr. Folk, you know, he's not completely retired. And I was like, what? Like, it was total like, wait, what do you mean he's not completely retired? And I was like, I don't care where he's at. I don't care if he's in China. We will figure out how to get to this man. Like, where is he at? And so she's like, he's still working in Nevada. And I said, which clinic? Because he's in a couple different clinics out in Nevada. He's had one in Reno. He has one in Las Vegas. And so she was like, hold on, let me call. And so she called, and she found out that he was at the Las Vegas clinic, and they were expecting me to call them because I said I want to go wherever he's at. And so Chris wasn't with me at the time. He was actually helping with some flooring with some family members. And so I kept calling him because I'm literally just bawling with like joy and excitement and just like kind of in shock, because not even 6 months prior, I thought my hopes were completely gone with this doctor who knows us so well, who's helped us through the situation, and just, you know, really, really is why we have Legend. And I was just like so heartbroken. And then to find out that he's still possibly it was like, so you're saying there's a chance? Like, I am one of those types of people that if you give me like just a little incy bit of a possibility, I'm gonna try to, you know, keep going no matter what. And so I went to Chris. We were actually in the Lowe's parking lot, and I was literally just bawling, and he thought someone had passed away. And so I had told him, like, that Utah Fertility Clinic had told me, or center had told me, that Dr. Folk was still practicing, but he was practicing in Las Vegas, Nevada. And for me, right there, right off the bat, is a miracle. Like, the fact that he wasn't completely retired, but we also took that as a sign of, like, time is of the essence. We need to move. Like, we need to act on this right away. It literally was 3 days after General Conference, after we'd gone to the temple, that I'd called, and we found out that he was still practicing. Like, what were your thoughts when I came to you at Lowe's?
Not exactly that. I thought somebody died.
He thought Dr. Folk died.
Well,
which would have killed me too.
I didn't know who or what. I just knew something big had happened.
Yeah.
So when she had told the news, it definitely was like the answer that we and she had been looking for.
Wow.
So to say we were overjoyed is the least we could say.
Oh, 100%. Like, just that moment, I feel like both of us were just like, there's a chance. There's hope.
Almost a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, like, we both were like, there's hope. And we also, I feel like, took it as a sign, as like, okay, Heavenly Father, like, I felt like I had asked prior, literally that weekend prior, like, how? And he was like, boom, here you go. Like, you know, and it was like, okay, now we have to do our part and go take action and move on it. So.
And we definitely did.
Oh, we did. We did. So then we got on a video conference call with him, which that in itself felt like seeing a family member that you haven't seen for like years, but then like you like pick right back up from where you were at. Like, we only saw him for a brief second because he didn't want to be on the video, but like even just seeing him for that brief second, I just remember thinking like, oh, there's my doctor, there's Dr. Folk. Like, it was just so I don't even know, like,
just refreshing.
Yes, like, just that whole like there's hope for us kind of thing. And so he's like, okay, like, I think you guys need to come down and let's do a water ultrasound. You need to get your medical records from UFC, like all these things. And so we had to do a couple things, and then we set up an ultrasound. Like, he literally like had me down there within 2 weeks. I was down at Las Vegas going and doing a water ultrasound. And usually he has, I feel like, I don't think he's done my water ultrasounds before. Maybe he did my first one, but he usually has like a nurse practitioner or someone else doing my water ultrasound. But he was doing my water ultrasound, and we're sitting in the water ultrasound and like not knowing what to expect. We're thinking, I'm gonna have to have surgeries, maybe I have polyps again, you know, like it's gonna be a process. And he's just doing his thing, looking around, and then we get this like, or he's like, hey, looks good, we need to do a transfer now. And we're like, well, I was like, what? And literally felt like I was trying to put up every single thing. Like, we have nationals because we coach club volleyball. We have nationals in a couple weeks. And he's like, we need to do a transfer. We need to do it now. We need to do it in June. And I'm like looking at him like, are you kidding me? Like, that is like, right, that's the next month. This was in May. Like, I think it was like May 19th or something. We had my water ultrasound, and he's like, yeah, June, we're doing it in June. And I'm like, hold up. And then Chris is over here on the side like, yeah. So like these two men are like, yeah, let's go. And I'm over here just trying to wrap my head around this whole situation. Like, excuse me? Like, can I have a say here? Like, it totally was just shocking. Like, just shocking. And so I literally tried to throw everything like, well, we're supposed to go to Tonga with our family. We already have a 30-day cruise booked to go to the Amazon River, which all these plans are probably going to be ex-nate or put on the back burner. It's like, you know, postponed. Yeah. Like all these things that in my mind, Shanae's planning mind, that because I'm a little bit of a freak in that way. I was like, but this, but that. And he's like, no, now. And so whatever he had seen, he did still see the adenomyosis, but he only saw it in certain areas. And so he did feel like if he put it in a certain area that there's possibility, there's a chance, you know, and this isn't our first rodeo with transfers. So we are always kind of walking into this with it in the back of our head of maybe not, you know, it is what it is. But both of us, I would say, have talked about it a couple times, and we do feel very like optimistic. You know, I feel like we just feel like the timing, the tender mercies that Heavenly Father is just literally like put things into play, that I'm just like sitting over here like, okay, there's a reason behind this. Like that's what I feel. And in all honesty, I think more than any other transfer I've ever had, I literally am putting it in God's hands and Dr. Folk's hands. Like that's 100%. Like their timing, if Heavenly Father feels that this is part of our plan, like I really feel like that's where my thought process is, or I'm trying to talk myself into being, no, I think I am. Like I really feel like this time around I'm just being like, hey, like my faith is just whatever happens, whatever comes, and we'll deal with it, you know, whatever it is, whatever outcome may come from it. So I think that's just been my thought process this whole time. And like I still, because we flew out that morning to Vegas and then we flew back that night, like I think both of us were just kind of in shock. I know I was in shock, like just kind of wrap my brain around it and everything, because even these last couple weeks of preparing everything, and like they have me on different medications this time. I'm doing a little bit different things than like the last time, not like super different, but some things I just think it's been very like, okay, I am doing a transfer again. Okay, we're going through this again. Like it's just been a whole, like almost like I forgot, but we've rode this bike before, but like it's been too long since we rode this bike that I'm like, I forgot about this. Oh yeah, here we go again. Forget like all the shots and everything like that. Like, I mean, I knew that was going to be entailed, but I just think a lot of it is just like, I forgot I might feel like this or that. So that's my take on a lot of it. And Chris can give his take on it.
No, like she said, everything just happened pretty quick. It was just a domino effect as soon as we found out that he was still practicing. So from that to when he got us down there for the water ultrasound to scheduling the transfer, it pretty much happened within a blink of an eye. But it kind of all lined up to what we were kind of asking for / praying for. So it wasn't for us to question, and I think that's why I felt so, I guess, inspired to kind of take charge and say, yeah, let's go, let's do it. It doesn't matter. We'll eat the costs of whatever it is in the future with trips or whatever. It doesn't matter. Just because of how long we've been trying to grow the family and stuff, and knowing how many embryos we had left. So I think it all just kind of came together. I mean, for us it was fast, but if you look into the eternal prospect of things or prospect of things, it's how it was supposed to happen. because he said himself, you know, like right now it looks like it's a good time to do it, and we know that with working with Dr. Folk in the past, he knows the stuff that we've been through, physically and emotionally. So if he said, and we both knew prior to going down there with him, whatever he says, we'll take to heart because of his knowledge of his profession and then his knowledge of our situation.
Yeah, like his old, our old coordinator that we used to work with, she's a sweetheart, her name's Danica. She used to be like, he is like determined to get you guys a baby because we had gone through so much, and he'd be like, hey, usually people have like one or two things I gotta kind of figure out, and then we can get them taken care of, but you have like A, B, C, D, E, F, you know. And so I think we're still kind of like that couple that like got away in a way. And I don't think he would sugarcoat it with us either, just because he's such a genuine person and he knows, you know, what we have gone through with the past transfers and how many past transfers we've done, and you know, just our history. Like, I think that's what put us at ease so much, is his reaction. And I think that's why Chris was like, yep. Like Chris was very assertive and like, we're doing it. And I'm just sitting here like, huh, what, we're doing it? Okay, we're doing it. I guess we're doing it. And so it's crazy how fast it happened, but I also just feel like really good about it. I think is the best way I can say it. Is like, I just feel like hopeful, like, and okay with whatever the outcome is. And I feel very grateful that I didn't follow counsel of other practitioners of suggesting to possibly get a hysterectomy, because if this works out, like, how freaking beautiful is that? And to make